That is Guyman on men's number 4. Yeah. There's the threat you were talking about.
This would be a big deal for Austin Guyman to finish this problem.
Oh, boy.
Austin Guyman needs this.
Oh.
No. Lost the heel at the last second.
So close. He's got 1 minute and 35 seconds left.
That's going to be hard to repeat in that amount of time.
But he'll get some points on that.
Kyle Struthers there in his last boulder. We know since Austin didn't do the first boulder that he's got some ground to make up. That would have been a big help. Kyle just typewritering. Sticking it. Nicely done for Kyle Struthers. You gotta feel good to finish the last problem in the round.
Do you know how many tops he's got?
I do not. He has at least one.
Yes, he has 5.
That I can say. Remember, you can go to usaclimbing.org to check out how many tops Kyle got, as well as the rest of our competitors here this morning and afternoon and evening, as we make our way through this massive men's qualifying field. The women wrapped up just a couple of hours ago. Check out the results for the women there. All results still showing as unofficial as I check them at the moment, but you get a pretty good sense of who's going to make it to the semifinals. Top 20 or so will make it for the men or the women. We see people with the status of WC or FN next to their name. They do not count against that 20 climber quota, so you're going to be at least 22 women in semifinals. And looking like 23 men.
23 women looks like. Because Brooke Rabitou, Margot Hayes, and Ashima are all world champions.
Yeah, I think you're right. So it'll be a bigger semifinal, likely a bigger final as well. Typically take the top 6 to finals, but because of these special circumstances, we'll probably take a little bit more. The top 6 finishers who are not already continental champions or world champions will make the U.S. national team. Those world champions are already on the national team. They have the ability to compete for the U.S. and World Cups around the globe.
You were just looking at Jared Friedrichs over there. He just joined us on problem 1, which is over to the left.
Means we have just about 10 climbers to go. So within the next 45 minutes, we'll have our last competitor out of isolation. Shane Puccio has been back there since before the election, I think.
Poor guy.
He's been back there for a long time.
This is Nick Milburn. One to watch.
Nick has made the first 2 problems look pretty easy. Struggling a little bit there. Problem 3 in particular, I think, has gotten a little bit harder late in the day here.
Looks slippery.
See that really crucial foot out right there, covered in shoe rubber. Something for these climbers to adapt to and adjust for.
Yeah, and I mean, when you go to the gym and you climb, which is where a lot of these guys spend a lot of their time, it's not like the holds are clean.
Yeah.
So they're used to it.
I think Nick just has to sort things out here. Definitely capable of topping this 3rd problem. He's getting in position totally easily, really. He's just a little bit stuck. I think this time he's got it. Yep. He's monoing the bolt hole. Do not recommend trying that ever. But that is part of the hold, so the climbers can use it.
That was a lovely transition.
Nick Milburn on the way to his 3rd top.
Adding
3 problems.
Adding chalk to our feathery collection.
Kind of like an impressionist painting they've got going on there. Nick Milburn 3 for 3 thus far, vying for a spot in semifinals. That is going to position him pretty nicely so far. He's got 2 problems to go. He could definitely finish one or both to solidify his spot in semifinals. The cut line right now for the men is right around 3 tops. So he's in the mix for sure. Looks like there's about 7 or 8 climbers with 3 tops. Speaking of judges, I heard Alex Puccio talking about them with you and Chris there nearly. That was Alex's mom judging down there, talking to Nick Milburn. A lot of the parents of the climbers out here volunteering their time judging the event.
Yeah. Well, and her mom is also a coach for Team Texas. I think this is kind of her job. I'm sure her mom isn't very psyched about that technical that Alex got.
Yeah, it's always an unfortunate thing when those situations come up. And it was a key point that Alex made there. It wasn't that she was appealing just because she wanted to have a better score. If there's a tie in semis and in finals, the results here can potentially matter for breaking ties. I have been saying that the scores reset, and they do as far as advancing to the next round, but they are used as basically a last second tiebreaker.
Yeah.
If there is a tie in finals, then you go back to semifinal results, and if there's a tie in semifinals, then you go back to qualifiers. You don't hope for that to happen, and it's not likely, but being a savvy competitor, she knows that she's got to cover all her bases just in case that were to come up.
Right, especially because the field is so close with her and Ashima competing against each other. Who knows what could happen?
Just another challenge for the route setters to make sure that competitors are separated in each round. See Austin Guyman there on his last boulder. Definitely needs to finish this to have any chance of making semifinals.
Tickling that hold that all the competitors seem to dislike.
And that's a hard hold to brush.
Yeah,
from the
right.
ground.
Yeah.
Since they've got that capper hold on top that's blocking it. And you can see him lose his foot there.
It's not the first time we've seen that. It seems like that foot is probably pretty terrible. But he has 2 minutes, 30 seconds left, so he has time for one more attempt.
And if you're joining us late, 9-time champion Daniel Woods climbed earlier this morning before the noon hour. Did not have a great qualifying round. He is on the bubble for semifinals right now. Is currently in 23rd place. So he is right on the bubble. Looks like cut line is about 24 for the men.
Probably necessary.
All right, we got Delaney Miller joining us in the booth right now. Delaney, how's it going?
Good.
How was the qualifying round for you today?
For me, it was definitely not the best climbing, but I had fun, so.
And I know that you're more of a sport climber. I think people would recognize you from your national championships and rope climbing, but what's your approach when you come to these bouldering competitions? Is it something you're really focused on bouldering, or do you just try to do the best you can? What's your approach as you come into nationals?
Yeah, my approach is just to try to have fun with it. You're definitely correct in saying that I'm more of a sport climber. And recently, I've been feeling a little burnt out with competitions in general. So for me, I was just trying to have some fun.
Sure, you've been doing these for a really long time at this point.
Yeah.
But you're still pretty young. You've got a lot of competitive years. We've seen Alex Puccio out here, Austin Guyman right on the wall. Now he's in his 30s. That seems ancient compared to half the field, it seems like, especially on the women's side. How do you think about your future in climbing as you go forward with competing?
That's such a hard question. For me, I think my future right now is a lot of outdoor climbing, and then I'll go from there. I really like the comp scene, and it's always a good time. I think I might take a break from it, to be honest, for like a year, but then come back for sure.
Nice.
How did you like women's number 4?
Number 4, which one was that?
With the pink hold on
Oh,
it there.
I was a little disappointed that I never stuck the jump. I definitely feel like it's well within my range of abilities to do that, but not every day can be the best day. So,
Oh, no.
Yeah. Did you think that the route setting was okay in general?
Yeah, the route setting was great. I will admit that I was surprised about the hold selection. I thought there would be more volumes. I mean, there is a lot of volumes, and all the holds that are on the wall are big. But I don't know, for some reason I was picturing like something, just more European with more volumes. But it's good. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Are you going to stay and watch tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely.
So what are your goals outside? What are your plans?
Right now, I'm going to do some outdoor climbing in Colorado for the next month. And then I'll head to Corsica. And from Corsica, I'll go to Spain.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Any routes that you're trying to take down?
No, I just, I realized today that the most time I've ever spent outside consecutively is about 5 days.
Oh, wow.
So that's about to change. I just want to like pick some projects as I go and have some fun and just really be outside.
And what about Rope Nationals that's coming up in about a month? Will we see you in Denver?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in the area, so definitely.
Awesome. Definitely looking forward to that. Delaney Miller, thanks so much for stopping by, and enjoy the rest of the weekend and great climbing today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to Delaney Miller for joining us in the booth. Let's see, Nick Milburn getting twisted up on men's 4. I don't think we've seen that method too often today. Nick with 3 tops so far, but he's about to face the hardest problem of this men's round. Just a handful of the 120 climbers that have gone so far have actually finished this problem. About 100, Nick's 109th climber out, so just 3 or 4 competitors have finished men's 4.
Again, he's a 21-year-old from Boulder. He says his favorite place to climb is the Dirty South. That's funny.
That's a pretty great place to climb.
It is. He's sponsored by 510 Organic Climbing and Scratch Labs. So he's on his way.
He did just do his first V15, which was on a roof, not too dissimilar from this problem here, men's number 4. I think he probably took more than 4 minutes to work on that boulder, though.
Yeah, it's a big difference between climbing outside and being in here.
Yeah.
Even though there may be V15 climbers, this is still hard in 4 minutes.
A little over a minute left for this round.
Taking the shirt off. I think for some people that means they're about to try hard. So maybe we'll see us end here. Come on. Dig deep.
Oh. Looking back at some of the unofficial results here, I think when we saw Joel Zur finish men's number 5, we thought that that was his 3rd top, but it doesn't look like he actually finished the first problem. So only 2 tops for Joel Zur.
Really?
According to the unofficial results here.
Huh.
Seems different than we had written down here, but wait to see what the final results look like.
Well, that means that he's got 3 tops. Nick Milburn, that is.
Yeah, Nick's still in a good spot to make it to semifinals.
Especially if he can get number 5.
Gonna have Josh Larson out pretty soon for the men, another contender to make semifinals. It looks like right now that we have Graham Hess. Remember, this is the first time the competitors seen any of these problems. They come out, they look at the problem, and then they have 4 minutes to evaluate and climb the boulder And then they look away from the wall before they move to the next problem, so they do not get any free time to study and think about what they're going to do. It's all part of the 4-minute allotment. You see Graham taking the first minute plus to get off the ground on this problem.
Graham Hess here is 39 years old. He's a local Salt Lake City guy. He's 6 feet tall.
Just over 2 minutes remaining for Graham Hess over at number 1.
Seeing Garrett McClellan there on problem number 2, the green one. And Max Hammer on 3 in the pink shorts. He's having a hard time establishing. And he's got 1 minute, 20 seconds left.
What's that? If he would, I mean, if he wants to.
On the right there, you can see Charlie Andrews on men's number 4. He's got a crowd of people screaming for him.
Trying to will him up that problem.
Yeah. That problem takes a lot of left bicep strength, I think, among other things.
Yeah, there's no real way to, like, finesse your way through that move or, like, move your foot a little bit or something. You just either can pull into that or you can't.
Yeah.
Next up on the mat for the guys out of Boston, Massachusetts, we have Sam Enright.
Sam Enright out for the men. He is the 117th person in the running order for the men.
You can see Sam Enright there.
As we watch these competitors battle these problems, getting a very special guest into the booth here, Daniel Woods. Daniel, welcome to the broadcast booth, sir.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Whew, pretty good.
How are you feeling today? We've been talking about your round quite a bit today. It was a very interesting round for
perfect.
a lot of reasons. What do you make of how things went out there?
I guess it is what it is, you know. I felt sort of good, but just didn't climb the best I've ever climbed before. And
Sure.
nature of competition. So, but the boulders were well set and they were powerful and actually really fun to climb on. Just head wasn't, I guess, completely in the game. So, but kind of on the bubble at the moment. So
a little bit of a waiting game for you.
Yeah, but
Hanging out to see.
I've kind of accepted the fate and might just move on. we'll see what happens.
Take us through a couple of the problems in the middle around the third boulder, this technical slab that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
What do you make of how things went on that problem?
I mean, didn't feel the best on it, I guess. It was, to be honest, it was kind of like a straightforward boulder. You just kind of had to like stick to the slopers and trust the feet, but there wasn't any like trickery or anything to it. And I guess this morning, for some reason, I couldn't like stick to any of the grips. They felt like
it was pretty early in the round still.
Yeah, they just they felt like kind of too new. I don't know, like they didn't have enough chalk on them, but I don't know. I'd always get purchased on them and just feel like my body's sliding out. But yeah, it is what it is.
Then you moved on to the fourth problem, and we knew at the time you had this moment on the problem. You were one of the first climbers. I think the first climber to actually stick the moves and get onto the head wall.
To that crimper,
yeah. And you felt going to the finish hold, and to that, we knew at the time that was probably an important difference, given how problem 3 had gone for you. Did that affect how you climbed on problem 5 at all, or was it out of your mind by the time you got on problem 5? It seemed like you struggled a little bit on that one.
It was pretty much out of my mind. I mean, like in general, problem number 5, I wouldn't say is my forte.
Sure.
Like I'm probably not the best coordination climber out there, but I knew like after I fell off of number 4, I was like, oh man, I think I needed like that third climb to like to secure a semifinal spot, and I was just like this was my shot to do that, but I don't know. You're like disappointed for like 5 seconds, and then you just move on.
Yeah, I mean, just do the best you can.
Exactly.
How are you feeling about comp climbing in general these days?
I think it's cool. I feel actually pretty psyched on it. I haven't had the best last couple of comps. Dark Horse didn't really go so well for me, and then this hasn't gone that well. But to be honest, it's like the level of climbing is just going up right now. There's like a lot of new, really good, talented climbers getting into it, and the style's getting a little bit different. And it's, I don't know, you just have to like really be on your A game, to like be able to make it into the round. So it's definitely felt like a lot of pressure and stuff like that, and just trying to like deal with the pressure and accept it and be like, hey, look, this is just one day, It's like I'm not going to stop competing because I've had one bad comp,
Yeah.
It's like just a good learning experience. So I actually feel more psyched because I didn't do good. So
interesting, the challenge.
I kind of want like to go back and like perfect some things and stuff like that. So
how have you been preparing? I know you've been moonboarding up at the BRC a little bit.
Yeah, a little moonboard, but I mean moonboard probably is the worst way to prepare for a comp like this.
Yeah, I was mentioning that.
Style problems out
here. It's better for outdoors. So I was hitting it up a lot, but I kind of took a break because I knew I had these comps coming up. Mostly just bend and movement, a little bit in ABC and stuff, and
just bouldering.
Yeah. And trying to like set some funk, but it's kind of hard to set it on your own. It's good to have someone else help set it for you.
Yeah, I saw you there was some video of you doing one arms with weight in your other arm.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel like that helps?
Helps your Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, like the thing is like I don't think like raw, like pure strength is necessarily key to doing well in these things. It's like it's more coming to like problem solving and being confident and just being able to like read moves well and execute them well. So but yeah, I don't know, we'll just figure out what to do next, I guess, after this.
Yeah. Any projects outside that you have right now, or any trips coming up?
Very nice. Josh just did number 1. So coming up, the goal is to try to get to Europe in March. Other than that, I'll probably be at the rodeo next weekend, and then the goal was to do some of the World Cups as well.
Nice.
So starting in April, but it also depends too, like if the whole U.S. team decides to go do it, then that kind of eliminates that goal. So because they only send like 4 people, so
right.
But over the years, there's usually a spot open, so
cool.
maybe I'll luck out.
Yeah. Cool. Well, nice work today.
Thank you.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for you.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we definitely hope to see you out there in semifinals going for number 10. So
yeah, we'll try.
Best of luck to you.
We'll see what happens, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no worries.
Daniel.
Nice hanging out. We'll see you guys later.
See you, Daniel.
Big thank you to Daniel Woods for stopping by the booth. going to go back to the waiting game. And as we were talking to Daniel, we saw Josh Larson coming out, sending problem number 1. So he is on the board. One of the remaining threats to push Daniel out of semifinals. But Neely, that was really nice of Daniel to come up here. Obviously not the best day for him. It's been easy for him to just go home and just wait it out there.
Yeah.
But really professional.
Very professional. I mean, he's been doing this so long. I'm sure he's had about 50 of those exact conversations. So he's super humble and takes it in stride.
And he is on the bubble at the moment, looking like 24 climbers for the men are going to make semifinals. And Daniel's right about 23rd place right now.
And you never know.
With a couple of scores. And we know that Nick Milburn's score is going to push Daniel down as well. So he's going to be on the stone bubble as we wait to see how Josh Larson does.
The stone bubble.
Stone cold bubble.
Yeah, I spoke with Daniel a little bit before this interview as well. Just, yeah, I agree with you guys. Super professional, psyched. Very first time ever that he hasn't been a shoe-in for semis.
Yeah, I mean, there was that comp when Sean McCall won where I don't think he made finals, which was kind of a big deal then because he had won nationals several times leading up to that. And so that was a big deal, but not making semifinals would be shocking.
You have such a good memory. Yeah, that year, Sean McCall, and then Alex Johnson was silver, and Kyle Owen with bronze.
Yeah, whatever happened to Alex Johnson? Love that kid.
I think he became a bodybuilder or something.
Doesn't mesh well with rock climbing.
No, it's opposite.
Kind of the same way that Natasha Barnes went with it
That's
as well.
true.
I mean,
Yeah.
she was crushing super hard.
And the Bautista brothers. Remember those guys from Colorado Springs a few years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Julian and Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Getting buff doesn't always work out
They're
for climbing.
bodybuilders?
They were, it seemed like.
Okay.
Although I think Julian still took second, or Michael, one of those two took podium in Colorado Springs. I think the first year it was there. That was a rowdy comp. Sport climbers making the podium, it got weird.
We just had a top, but I don't know.
It's like
Oh,
bib
it's
117.
Sam, yep, Sam Enright, just top number 2.
We have 5 climbers left in isolation.
For
Just
those of you who are still hanging with us until the end, keep in mind the action does not stop tonight. This is only the beginning. Tomorrow morning, we're going to pick things back up with the semifinal round with the top 20 guys. The top 20 girls are going to go down and have a chance to move on to finals tomorrow night. You do not want to miss any of it. If you're going to be here, make sure you get here early to get a good seat. And if you're not, you can tune in live online.
reminder, if you're just tuning in, you can go to usaclimbing.org for all the results this weekend. Right now they have some unofficial results for the women and the men on the website right now. Really impressive women's qualifying round before. Super excited for semifinals tomorrow. Really deep field for the women and the men for that matter. I think a couple of the competitors that have come up here and talked to us have touched on this point that the field just keeps getting deeper and deeper every year. It gets harder and harder to make your way through to semifinals and finals. It used to be, 5-6 years ago, there were only 30 women in the comp, so making semis was a matter of beating 10 competitors. Now this year you got to beat 40 for the women and 105 for the men.
That's crazy.
Remember, we'll be live with semifinals tomorrow morning around 9:45 Mountain Time. LT11.TV is always your home for the live broadcast of USA Climbing events.
Always.
Free, whether you like it or not.
I like it.
Everybody likes free.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking with Delaney Miller before. We'll be back in just about a month in Denver for Rope Nationals. Always a quick turnaround for that. Climbers have to get back in rope shape in a hurry. Really psyched to bring Rope Nationals movement down there in Denver this year.
That will be really fun to have it in Denver this year.
Man, I hope you guys like me enough to have me back for that.
You're booked.
Psyched for that. Yeah, and if you want to join the conversation, well, the social media conversation, you can use the hashtag USAC Bouldering.
Next up on the mat, we're in the 120 bib. We have Matthew Bayo.
Josh looking for his second top in qualifiers here. Definitely expect to see him do this second problem. It's proven to be very doable for the men.
Josh Larson, again, 31 years old, out of Rockdale, Massachusetts.
And if Josh can get through to finals, you just don't even know what'll happen. 2 years ago in Madison, he just had that insane moment on the problem where he was pushing like crazy for the finish hold and just missed it. Would have made him national champion.
He ended up third, 2015 ABS Nationals, and there he is with his second top.
That was one of the most incredible ABS Nationals memories I have from that series.
That was a good one. I remember that one.
So 2 for 2 for Josh.
Did he flash one?
He definitely topped it. It can be deceiving on that because a lot of guys can have quick falls, and I wasn't paying attention as we were talking to Daniel Woods there. I didn't catch if he flashed or not. Really interesting wrinkle in this rank scoring where we've been talking about the competitors are ranked on how they do on each problem. Daniel Woods and Sean McCall, both on problem number 5, have a rank of 100.
Oh, wow.
They both struggled mightily on that problem, which is especially surprising for Sean McCall, given that he has had a lot more experience with that style of boulder, but obviously didn't sit him well this afternoon. Sean likely to make it to finals. He's going to be right on the bubble. He's actually in danger of not making it.
To semis.
Yeah, semis. Excuse me. 19th place right now unofficially.
Yeah, I'm seeing Sean unofficially bumped actually to 20. Dang.
Gotta hit that refresh button. Oh yeah, because Nick Milburn slotting in there in 17th place with his 3 tops. So Daniel Woods needs no more climbers to get 3 tops at this point. So if Josh Larson finishes one more problem, Daniel Woods is likely out for semis.
Yeah. And I would have to guess, judging on how Josh just looked, that he will top 3.
I think there's a pretty good chance he could do at least one of the last 3 problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, the reason that we're taking 24 people is because there are 3 foreign nationals and 1, what is CC?
Continental champion?
Continental champion.
That's Sean Bailey.
That means they just get extra spots. And that wouldn't happen in any other comp except for nationals.
We have Nicholas Edwards.
That's right, because we're trying to select our U.S. national team here. Sean Bailey already on the national team on the strength of his Continental Championship, so
And
we want to get 6 new people on the team.
all of the foreign nationals would obviously not be eligible to be on the U.S. team. Watching Sam Enright on the right there on men's 3. On men's 2 in the blue is Rafael Leo.
Matthew Bayo in the background there in the green just fell off of men's 1. He's from Lincoln, Nebraska, 27 years old. Among the elders in this comp, really.
I think that's actually Nicholas Edwards. I'm sort of blind, so I can't totally see, but I think he's 121.
Snap.
Climbers really worked over that section of the wall there, peeling the paint off. I don't think that was there this morning.
"40 seconds left." Well, I will say I think the production team here is pretty amazing. LT11 is doing a great job of making our jobs easy and bringing you some really great views of everybody.
Yeah, you can see them there mashing buttons in the background of that shot. Josh Larson stepping up to men's number 3. Trying to punch his ticket to semifinals. Vicious rumor going around that Josh might retire from nationals after this comp, but we can't let that happen.
Nope.
Can't retire if you're still in the comp.
I think it was pretty cool that Daniel said that not doing super well is making him want to try harder at the next comp. And not that he wants to give up or anything.
Yeah, I think it's been a challenging few years for Daniel at nationals. There was a little bit of that controversy 2 years ago where he was national champion but didn't win the comp. Last year, getting bested by Nathaniel Coleman. Obviously still one of the best climbers in the world though, so like a lot of the climbers have been saying, these comps are sort of one-off events that, you know, there's certain randomness to the outcome. Well, if you watch Alex Puccio, it doesn't seem all that random.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, you could say the same about D Woods for so many years.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, when you think about just the inherent randomness in these comps, you know, one move, one attempt can separate you from winning and finishing 5th or 6th or not making set finals. That Alex and Daniel are able to win so consistently is just incredible.
Yep.
and for so long. Daniel won his first nationals 12 years ago.
Yeah, and I mean, like Pucho said, and Daniel, everybody has not such good days. I mean, Daniel was putting up V16, you know, a couple months ago, if not more recently than that. So I think what he said about the style of the comps changing means a lot.
Josh Larson's got just over a minute and a half to make this happen on men's 3.
See him just easing his weight over that foot. Tiptoeing across.
Yeah, that hold around the corner sure has to look like it's a long way away.
Oh!
Oh! Dang. Oh. And I think Daniel is just watching that right now. He's in front of us. He is now standing up and walking away. Daniel saw that, and I think he thinks that means he's out of semis. Wow, that was a power moment. Powerful.
Disappointing.
So 3 tops and 3 boulders for Josh Larson. Still plenty to go for him. He can position himself even better in semifinals. Another top in one of the last 2 problems. Or 2, why not? Just 2 climbers right now for the men with 5 tops, excuse me. Alexei Rupstov and Nathaniel Coleman. Only competitors to finish all 5 problems. And then 9 male competitors to finish 4 of the boulders. So we're seeing relatively doable set of problems for the men. At least for the top end of the field.
Next, at 123, we have John Gass.
And there is Daniel Woods. We can only imagine what's actually going through his mind, but I think he's thinking that he's out.
And Lacey Hendricks in front of him. But
She's trying to figure out how she can get out of here.
Johnny Horrick, our medic, my former roommate. I like these random shots of my friends.
We're just a big family here, Neely, aren't we?
Aren't we? Oh, Mike Moulter. He's owner of Movement Boulder in Denver.
Going to see a lot of him next month at Sport Nationals. It looked like he's has a robotic arm or something.
What is happening with
Not
that?
sure what's going on. We'll get you the scoop next month.
Who do we got here on problem number 2? Nicholas Edwards.
Nicholas Edwards, the guy that I accidentally called
Geriatric.
Matthew Bayo. Yeah, that's Nicholas Edwards.
And over on the far left side of the wall is John Gass, Denver-based climber.
And following him will be Shane Pucho, Alex's brother, and our final climber.
Get out.
I will not.
That's crazy. Some 9 hours after the climbing began for the men. Almost non-stop action for the men on these boulders.
It's been pretty awesome.
So many exciting storylines to follow here at 2017 Open Bouldering Nationals. Remember to come back for semifinals tomorrow morning, 9:45 Mountain Time. LT11.tv. See who's going to punch their ticket to finals. Who's going to be our next national champion will be crowned tomorrow night starting at 7:30 Mountain Time. Do not want to miss that. Always an exciting show.
And we will actually be having awards for 2 different crownings. There's also going to be the National Cup champion. This is the 5th in a series of comps called the National Cup. This is actually the debut year of them all. And so this counts for double points compared to the other 4 competitions, some of which you've heard of, like the Dark Horse Comp and Vulcan Cup. And tomorrow we're going to be crowning the Bouldering National Champion and the National Cup Champion. So there's going to be 2 award ceremonies. It's going to be awesome.
Each of which has a purse, I believe, of $10,000 each to be spread across all of the winners. Oh, that was a nasty fall. He's okay.
Putting those flash mats to use.
And our final competitor of the qualification round, stepping up onto
Woohoo!
And just like that, just under 9 hours after we began this 2017 Nationals qualifying round, Shane Puccio out on the mat for the men. He'll be our final climber on each of these problems, and then they are history, never to be seen or climbed on ever again.
So sad.
Which if you have some of these competitors, is not soon enough.
That's for sure.
Josh Larson eyeing up M4.
Of course, tomorrow we start with a fresh slate of boulder problems for semifinals. Only 4 for the men and 4 for the women. It's sure to be a harder slate for the competitors. Always a punishing round for semifinals.
This would be Josh Larson's 4th top if he gets this. And we've decided it's the hardest boulder of them all.
He's a little out of sorts right now.
Definitely off the standard sequence.
I think most climbers have put their left foot out where his left hand was. Josh has about 2 minutes to figure it out. Josh in no hurry, though, as we were talking with Ian Dory earlier. Experienced competitors know how to bide their time in the 4-minute window and just give the problems 2 or 3 really good attempts, and it's really all that you can do. Except diminishing returns pretty quickly in 4 minutes. Things start to go awry. You start to press and force things.
Oh, he's got it.
Josh Larson going for it. Letting out the try hard scream, but it didn't help.
Seems like most climbers who didn't get that one right away, they went up like Josh did with one hand and then decided, okay, next time I need to actually go double hand.
Yeah, you got to get serious.
That's right. All two-handed, all the time.
I mean, that's how we saw Nathaniel Coleman. We didn't, it just looked like he wasn't going to figure it out, and then all of a sudden he did the boulder. So we'll see how Josh Larson does here.
Well, and that's what he said. He said, once I felt that hold and knew that I could grab it next time, I knew I could do that.
Yep, just like that, but not able to bring the left hand in tight enough. Josh frustrated, but I think that's got to be it for him. Just 15 seconds to go. Yep. Seems to be in some discomfort.
Yeah, I think we all would be after that problem, wouldn't we?
I'm uncomfortable looking at it. I don't think that Shane Puccio got a top on men's 1.
And with that, we are down to 4 problems, 2 through 5. Once again, the action is going to continue tomorrow morning with the semifinals. You can find out who is going to semis with the live results on usaclimbing.org. Go to the homepage, click on the button that says live results, and you can find out who's going in real time. The girls are pretty much set. It's going to be the top 20. For the guys, I believe it's going to be the top 24.
That's Nicholas Edwards on men's 3, just to the left of the middle. John Gass to the left of him on men's 2. John Gass is 28, the one on the left there. He's out of Lakewood, Colorado. He's 5'7". He climbs at DBC, Denver Bouldering Club. And he's been climbing for 18 years. Oh,
Slip and slide.
tenuous toe hook there. So you can see they've got a minute and 30 left. And those clocks aren't always within view of them. So sometimes they don't know how much time they've got.
As this round winds down, take a look at some of the unofficial scores here for the women. Give you a sense of the climbers you'll see tomorrow in semifinals. Looking through the top 20 here in first place after the qualifying round, Ashima Shireishi, flashing all 5 problems, followed closely by Maya Madere, Alex Puccio, Kyra Condi, Michaela Kirsch, Margot Hayes, Claire Burfine, Brooke Rabitou, Sierra Blair Coyle, Megan Martin, all in the top 10 right now. Megan Mascarenas, our defending champion, 11th place. Talia Grossman, Nina Williams, Georgia Bank, Lisa Chulich, Grace McKeon, Victoria Perkins, Stella Noble, Lily Kahneman, and Chauncey Carroll in the top 20 at the moment. And that seems pretty solid for the top 20 for the women. I would think they'd take a couple more, but we'll wait for the final results before we confirm anything. I would expect to see all of those women in finals or semifinals tomorrow, excuse me.
I suppose we could do the same thing for at least the top 10 of the males. What do you think?
I think that's probably pretty safe. I think Alexei is safe at the top of the leaderboard at this point.
You think? Yeah, he and then Nathaniel Coleman, Sean Rabitou, Dalton Bunker, Sean Bailey, Palmer Larson, Matt Foltz, Rudolph Ruana. That's Drew Ruana, Kai Leitner, and Michael O'Rourke are our top 10.
A very solid top 10 for the men. But a lot of, I think, new names for some folks at home. Not seeing like Carla Traversi on the outside of the top 10, but likely to make it to semifinals. We
Yeah.
talked a lot about Daniel Woods, probably not going to make it to semifinals.
The fact that Dalton Bunker and Palmer Larson are in the top 5, that's really cool. We've seen Dalton up high before in qualies, but yeah, it's just great to see him again. And yeah, a couple other names that maybe not too common up there.
We got Shane Puccio up here on men's number 2. He's 22 years old. He's Alex's younger brother.
Frisco, Texas.
Looks like he's having some shoulder problems. Saw the tape. This is Gabe McKenzie. Trying to get that leg up. It's a pretty high step. Some guys have had a hard time getting their foot up on that hold. I had a question. Sean Bailey and Palmer Larson are tied for 5th.
Yep.
So does that mean that they make an extra space for them as well?
No.
It's just the top 20 plus our foreign nationals.
Yeah, because there's no number 6 because they're tied.
Oh, right. Got it. Oh,
Josh
Wow.
pirouetting his way out on men's number 5. Using that toe hook to at least readjust his fingers in that slot.
That looks like a
That's grim.
hideous hold.
especially now.
Oh no.
Oh, that foot.
It looked like he might
It's only
get it
got
back, but
45 seconds, too.
see if he can make this first sequence a little bit easier for himself. 30 seconds or so. Plenty of time.
This would make 4 tops for him if he did this.
Only like 3 moves on this boulder.
Oh, nice.
Nicely
Dang.
done.
Paste that foot on, Josh.
Oh no.
Oh!
You can see him just lost it, and that's going to be it for Josh Larson. 3 tops though for him. He's going to be right in the mix on the semifinals bubble. Everybody in the top 20 at this point has 3 tops, so we'll see how Josh slots in there with those climbers, but he is likely through to the semifinal. See Josh conferring with Brian Rafferty, our MC there, and Dave Wetmore on the right, one of the route setters.
Longtime route setter. That's why these guys are so good at what they do.
John Gass on men's 3 here.
We're on the final 3 problems of the evening. Just 3, 4, and 5 to go for the men.
I already kind of missed problem number 2. That was a good one.
Yeah, he's got to lock that off a little bit more. Common problem we've seen.
I think I'll miss problem 4 the most because it is doable, but it's almost not doable, as our competitors have proven. It's so exciting when people actually get past the 3rd hold on this thing.
As the action is winding down here at the qualification round, please make sure that any photos, videos, tweets, anything that you send out into the world has the hashtag USAC Bouldering on it. Once again, that's hashtag USAC Bouldering.
That was interesting what Delaney said about being surprised that there weren't more volumes on the wall. What do you guys think about that?
Well, it's become such a style in bouldering comps the last few years, really driven by the European circuit, World Cups being very volume heavy. So it's sort of made its way into nationals the last few years also. So I mean, certainly could happen in semis and finals, but the problems have been a little more straightforward.
Yeah, they're
maybe
more
than
like
in years past.
things that you'd find in a gym.
A little more like climbing.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, less 5-dimensional.
We'll have to edit this part out when tomorrow is all volumes, but that's okay. We have no prior knowledge of what is coming tomorrow.
Which is exciting. I'm excited to see what they put out there for them.
Yeah, semis is always really cool to come in and see what the boulders look like.
But they preset the boulders, and then they just come in and put the holds on the walls where they're supposed to be. It's not like they're coming in late tonight and tomorrow and setting.
Starting from scratch, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think they typically will set the whole competition the week before, and then as the rounds go, they'll make adjustments based on how they see the climbers doing it. I think we talked pretty early in the broadcast about grades. The setters they're not trying for certain grades. They're just trying to see how the climbers are doing and then do what they can to separate them most evenly based on the skills that the climbers are demonstrating in the competition.
Right, and as Daniel said, it's not just about pure strength. It's so many other elements. There's Shane Puccio again, trying men's 3. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to talk to the setters and see what they've learned from this round. They're definitely all here watching, kind of parsing what they've seen from the top competitors and evaluating how they think they'll do on these routes tomorrow.
Kind of a lonely house here for Shane Puccio there. I'm sure he would be getting a lot of cheers had this been closer to noon. But right now, most of the house is kind of cleared out. And Shane is left climbing on his own after the penalty of being in ISO for about 9 hours.
Poor guy.
They have to give him like a free drink ticket or something
Yeah.
for having to wait that long.
Oh, his shoulder looks like it's not doing so great. I know that. I know that motion. He's got 1:42 left. Enough time.
Seems like an incredibly bad move if you have any problem with your left shoulder.
Yeah, the worst move.
Just full press.
It's a bummer. It's young for a 22-year-old to have both of his shoulders taped up like that. Oh. Looks like Shane's calling it at about 30 seconds, with 30 seconds left. As is Gabe McKenzie. 5 seconds left in this round.
Unofficially, we're seeing Josh Larson in 16th place, actually just after Carlo Traversi, which is an awesome showing for Josh. And that has, again, unofficially bumped Sean McCall down to 21, getting dangerously close to the line of not making it. But of course, we will not know for sure.
Sean needs to finish in the top 20 to make it because he has a foreign national. He doesn't calculate in all these sort of weird edge cases we've been talking about. They only apply to American citizens, those free rides into semifinals. So Sean McCall.
Does that mean he's definitely out?
Looking to be out, yeah.
Because Alex Waterhouse, also a foreign national, is in number 20. So both 20 will make it, though.
20 should make it, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So
imagine that. Sean McCall and D Woods not making it to semifinals.
See when the scores go official. It should take 20, 30 minutes after the round closes. There is an appeal period, so there's a reason why the scores are not official. And also the way the ranked scoring system works, I actually have to wait until all the competitors are done before you know the scores, because everyone's score on each problem affects everyone else's score, potentially.
Well, these results just speak to this new young group of guys. They're really strong. And they're really good at this kind of climbing.
Yeah, it definitely skews younger for the men, especially Alexei, Ty Landman, Carlo Traversi might be on the older side actually for this field. Carlo and Ty are not that old.
No, they're not even 30.
Veteran competitors for the men's field. Although pretty much all these kids are veterans at this point. They've done hundreds of comps, it seems like, by the time they get their driver's license.
I think we're on our last 3 competitors. Is that right?
I think so. And with Sean getting bumped out of the top 20, that means his foreign national status does not count for the top 20. So it means one fewer person through to semis. So that's a big development.
Does that mean
Puts
anything
Brian
for D
Anthony's
Woods?
on the bubble as well.
I'm still rooting for Simon Hibbler to make it in. It looks like he probably will at number 22.
He's got the best climbing team name.
Team
Sickbird.
That's right. Go movement.
Got to get Team Sickbird in there. John Gass here winding down his time on men's 4. Time for one final attempt here. Just about 20 seconds left. Not able to get much going here for John Gass.
Not enough gas in the tank for that move.
Oh, man.
I see what you did there.
I've been wanting to say that, but I didn't.
Probably a smart move, Neely.
Professional restraint.
Restraint is something I only know in the first 7 hours of live broadcast.
it's winding down.
And with that, we have 12 minutes left. We'll mercifully end this broadcast and regroup for semifinals tomorrow.
don't get a couple hours of sleep.
It's going to be hard to sleep knowing that we've got the semifinal round coming tomorrow. I'm super excited for it.
I'm not that excited for
No?
it, Brian. I'm definitely going to sleep well tonight.
Well, I mean, I'm also sick, so maybe that won't be able to sleep. I tell you what I really can't wait to see is I can't wait to see some of these climbers tested. We saw Ashima out here before. She really didn't get tested on any of the problems. Can't wait to see what happens when things maybe don't go as well as they did today. See how she reacts.
Yeah, she may need to start doing the men's problems.
I thought you were going to say drug tested.
Well, I was almost going to bring that up too, but I figured we could talk about it tomorrow. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
a-
long conversation.
That's a different can of worms.
Yeah. We need an expert up here to tell us all about it. So Shane Puccio, men's 4. Let's see how this does with his shoulders. Oh.
Really excited to see if Nathaniel Coleman can keep it up. We talked to him after his round today. He's got that finger injury. Slowed him down a little bit, it seemed like, but not all that much considering he got 5 tops.
Yep.
But it definitely sounds like a tenuous situation just with his preparation and the fact that he sort of needs the style of the problems to suit him.
Well, if history repeats itself, then there will be a lot of slopers out there tomorrow. He won't have a problem.
And do they not make crimps anymore?
I know.
Pockets? Edges?
I think there might be an edge or two on this wall out of the dozens of holds.
I just see it. Pinches, volumes, and foot chips for
Yep.
hands.
Tiny, tiny foot chips. And Puccio's mom must be very proud of them, having 2 of her kids in nationals.
It's always a little tough to be the only person out on the wall.
Oh,
It's kind
There
of
you
like being
go.
the only broadcaster in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
Feels pretty lonely, kind of isolating,
Mm-hmm.
scary
Mhm.
even.
That's going to do it for Shane. He'll have one more rest cycle for his final problem.
so tomorrow isolation opens at 8:30 a.m. for the competitors. Closes at 9:30, so they have to be here by
With
9:30.
that sound, we are down to our final 2 competitors. 1 problem remaining. All eyes on men's number 5, far right side of the stage.
Climbing starts at 10 tomorrow for semifinals and ends at 12:10 p.m. if everything goes well. And they clear the venue. And climbing begins again at 2 p.m. and ends at 5 p.m. I am super smart. Can you correct me? I can't even find it. That is for citizens comp. From 2 to 5, I was wrong. So open finals is at 7:45 p.m. That's when they start, then they the end when they end.
In the end.
We might be here all night tomorrow.
I mean, we have to do 2 award ceremonies, so there's no telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 award, that's going to be good.
Getting our last glimpses at problem 5. Every other problem is done.
It's like art that's only shown for a brief moment and then forgotten.
It's been a puzzling problem for the men. We've seen a bunch of climbers do it, and then a bunch of really talented climbers really struggle to get anywhere on it. That's really what the route setters are looking for, is to get, you know, dynamic results. They want everyone getting to the same spot or everyone finishing the problem on their first try, so I'd like to see the wide variety of results. Not playing favorites this year with Daniel Woods on the outside looking in for semifinals.
Yeah, I'd say that's a shock.
Really ruins my fantasy pool.
We don't need to hear about your fantasies right now, Brian.
I have to start over tomorrow. Get some new picks out there. Who we think is going to make it to finals.
I got it.
Yeah. And then he wants you guys ready for next step, I guess. To make everything
And that's probably going to do it for John Gass on men's number 5. I guess he's going to get his money's worth here. One last attempt as the clock expires. He'll be called off the wall. And that's going to do it for John Gass. And just like that, we are down to our final competitor here at the 2017 Bouldering National Championships. Shane Puccio going to close things out for us in what has been a lengthy, fascinating qualifying round. A lot of interesting stories for us moving into semifinals. We look forward to resetting all of that for you tomorrow morning, starting around 9:45.
If you are still in the crowd, make some noise. Give them some support in this final climb of the
Going to be an exciting semifinal round. But first, we got to finish qualifying. Shane not really able to get anything going here. In this qualifying round. That's the way it goes sometimes. Really working the artistic angles out here now.
Oh, foreground. Yeah.
See the clock ticking down there. This has got to be a frustrating problem to work on if you can't figure it out in the first couple tries. You know, we've seen it from climbers like Daniel Woods to any number of the competitors. There's no real halts until you get onto that big volume. So it's not like you can like tease out the sequence or like feel the grips or anything. You just got to kind of go for it and do it or not.
Practice your sideways coordination
Yeah.
dynos at home.
The coordination problems are frustrating when they don't go well because you feel like you don't know it, like you just kind of feel silly. Like everybody out here, everybody watching that's bouldered and tried a problem like that knows that feeling.
Yeah. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
There's like a dyno that you can't quite do it. You just feel like gravity is really fighting against you.
I prefer to think of it as a dance with gravity, Brian.
Sure.
There's really a dyno that I can do, so.
Yeah, dynos aren't my thing either.
I usually just reach for the hold.
That's true. You are about 8'7".
Yeah. I just reach stronger.
Dance harder.
Final attempts here for Shane Puccio.
Oh.
Almost getting it there.
Valiant effort there on the full-on dyno, ignoring the gray blobs.
He's going to give it one more shot here.
He will give it up for Shane Puccio, his final attempt of the evening.
Not going to be for Shane Puccio. That's going to do it. He's calling it. That is going to wrap up the qualifying round. Seems like it just started.
I wish that was the case, Brian, but here we are at the end of it, and it has been an exciting evening, to say the least.
Yeah, it's been a really exciting day. We've seen 60 women and 124 men making their way through these qualifying problems. Some exciting storylines starting to come together for semifinals tomorrow. Remember to check out usaclimbing.org for all the updated scoring as soon as they go official, which we expect to be in the next hour or so. So usaclimbing.org for all the final qualifying results, see who made the semifinals. And be sure to check back tomorrow morning, 9:45 Mountain Time, for semifinal coverage from LT11.tv. Neely, Chris, great job today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:45. We'll see everybody then. Thanks for watching.
Looking forward to it. See you then.